chest. We're doing a trunk rotation. Trunk rotation. As you're holding the dumbbell in your chest, stand straight, slightly bend your knees. Now do not move your hips. Isolate your lower body. Now rotate side to side. Rotate. Trunk rotation. Rotate side to side with the dumbbell on your chest. You'll feel your core burning, your oblique muscle burning. Ready, go. 1 and breathe. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good job, guys. Good job. You're doing great. Now stay in a plank position with the same dumbbell in your hands. Now we're going to be doing roll with that dumbbell. Stay in a plank. Now roll your hand one back, lift the dumbbell up, drop it that hand down, and lift the other one. Alternate. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now still remain in that plank position. Now we're going to be crossing one of the dumbbells. Just pick only one. Cross it to your left side and cross again to the right. You're going to be using the opposite side. When you cross it to your left side, use your right hand to bring it back to the left side and use your left hand to cross again while you're holding on one hand on the plank. Alternate it. Okay, 1, 2, keep going. 3, keep crossing those dumbbells. This will help you work on your abs. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more cross. 1, 2, keep going. 3, don't stop. 4, 5, 6, and breathe. 7, 8, 9, 10. Well done. You did a great job. Now drop those dumbbells. We're going to be doing upward dog and downward dog. Upward dog is when you're stretching like a cobra, lifting up the whole of your upper body from your chest to your head. It's raising up like a cobra. Alright, let's start. Move upward and downward. 1, 2, stretching the whole of the abdomen. All your body is being stretched. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Stand up. Inhale very well and exhale. You did a great job. Now, if you really want to be seeing me live, so you understand all these exercises I'm doing, I'm actually holding an online program, online training. So you can join me and get registered for the online training. It's just like 10, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. If you have time, you book me personal for your time. So we can train, okay? So WhatsApp my number on 080-333-96765. Actually, I'm starting a new program on the 1st of June. From the 1st of June, we're starting a new exercise program. So if you're interested to continue to work hard with me and see me live so you can understand all these exercises, just give me a call, chat me up, okay? Thank you so much, and we're doing a continuation of this program tomorrow. Bye for now. Thank you.
Extraordinaire.
Talk radio.
I listen to a lot of talk radio. 95.1 FM.
I'm fragile. I feel pain. I hurt. I open my eyes. I crave victory. I do not give up. I feel no fear. I fear no man. I create. I conquer. I hold the power.
Make a choice. Just decide what it's going to be, who you're going to be, how you're going to do it. Just decide. And then from that point, the universe is going to get out your way.
We can't have another bad year. You've got to get to the point where enough is enough.
It's much easier to come up with excuses and why you can't do it. If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. If you do what is easy, complain about your situation, your circumstances, you surrender and give up on your dreams, become depressed and bitter and angry. Anybody can do that. If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, keep coming back again and again and again. Get up dressed every day.
Take life on. Taking life by the collar. You say, yes, I will do it.
I can do this. And you've said to yourself, I'm willing to face the no's. I'm willing for people to laugh at me. I'm willing to gut this out. I'm willing to make this happen. It's my time. It's possible. It's necessary. It's hard. It's worth it. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I can do it. If anybody's ever done it at any point in time in history, then what's possible for one, it's possible for me, and I'm going to do it. And if you do that over and over and over again, your life will be easy.
This is kind of hard to understand, but sometimes you can try so hard at something. Sometimes you can be so prepared and still fail. And with every time you fail, it's painful. It causes sadness. And especially as I saw last night, it causes disappointment. I've often said a man's character is not judged after he celebrates a victory, but by what he does when his back is against the wall. So no matter how great the setback, how severe the failure, you never give up. You never give up. You pick yourself up, you brush yourself off, you push forward, you move on, you adapt, you overcome. That is what I believe. Everybody here, everybody watching, I won't be stopped. I can't be stopped.
You're either committed or you aren't. You're either willing to do everything it takes, whatever that might be, or you aren't. You either are willing to go through hell and high water and fire and fucking brimstone to get to your goals, or you aren't.
And that's why you'll never be what you want to be. That's why you'll never have what you want to have. That's why you'll never accomplish what you're all over the place.
Success, guys, is a very, very lonely road, man. Along that road, you're not going to see too many friends. You see your shadow most often. You got to trust in the heart of hearts. Inside what you're doing, what you believe in, is a worthy cause, a winnable fight.
I wish I could tell you you tired, go take a break. I wish I could tell you tired, rest for a year. I wish I could tell you that it's gonna get easier. I wish I could tell you it's gonna get easier. I wish I could tell you that if you just keep going, it's gonna get lighter. The weight is gonna get light. I wish I could tell you that. When you get to the point where enough is enough, when you get to the point where it hurt real bad, when you get to the point when it's over, when they're tired, when they're frustrated, when they're ready to give up, when they spent their last dime, that's when they get started. But what you cannot do is you cannot quit doing the process. You cannot give up because it ain't what you see. You cannot give up. Work on yourself. Work on your focus. You cannot stop. You gotta work. The problem with you is you see difficult as something negative. I want you to see difficult differently. Are you hearing me? I need you to push through that stuff. Push through it. You can't get through it. The more you go through, the more difficult it is, the more challenging it is. Listen to me, the harder it is. Are you hearing me? The more challenging it is. All you're doing, baby, is building muscles. In life, you're either going to a storm, in a storm, or you coming out. It's a part of life. There's no way around it. So just be careful not to allow the trials or the tribulations to consume you. I don't care if you're a billionaire. I don't care if you're a CEO of one of the most important companies. I don't care if you're an entertainer. Like, I don't care who you are. You can go to the moon. We all have problems. What I'm trying to tell you is this, though. Problems are a part of life. But guess what? They're not life.
It's not going to be easy. There are moments when you're going to doubt yourself. There are rough times are going to come, but they have not come to stay. No matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, you've got to make it your personal business to make it happen. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to make it in life, you got to know your vitamin. You've got to know every no brings you a step closer to a yes. Anybody can stop because someone said no. But there's something in you, in your heart of hearts, that's saying, I'm not a quitter. There's something in you that says, I've got the will to do it. There's something in you that says, I'm going to find a way. People who could help you out and won't help you out because they know too much about you and they don't believe, they can't see this new you. Don't allow those negative naysayers, the people who are suffering from possibility blindness, to stop you. Detoxify your life. Let all the negative people in your life go. Can I change them? No. It's a full-time job changing yourself. You are not like everybody else. You can walk outside and find pigeons, but if you're looking for eagles, it's going to take you a minute. You are different. And as you think about your goals and dreams, your personal goals, your financial goals, and whatever that number is, I want you multiplied 100 times. And I want to warn you, don't ask yourself how you're going to do it. How is none of your business. I just want you to listen to me. You have something special. You have greatness within you. You have the ability to do more than anything you can ever begin to imagine. You have million-dollar ideas, billion-dollar ideas in you. There are people waiting to hear your voice. You have a vision of yourself doing more, achieving more, taking care of your family, making your mark, leaving a legacy. You were born to be successful. Is it easy? Of course it's not easy. It's challenging. It requires patience. It requires persistence. It requires a willingness to do whatever is required to create a new life for yourself.
Don't be afraid to close your eyes and dream, but then open your eyes and see. For a lot of people, the distance between their dreams and their reality is intimidating and they get stuck. They get paralyzed just like I was in that marathon. And the only way forward is to be real about what it's going to take for you to achieve those dreams. You have to be honest with yourself. You have to tell yourself the truth. You have to tell yourself the truth of what it's going to take for you to be successful. You cannot achieve success without failure.
That's why you are here. There's a voice in you that has said, I can do this. There's something in you, in your heart of hearts, that said, I'm not going to let anybody pull my strings. It said, I'm going to control my own personal economy. It said, I've got a dream I want to achieve. I want my children to have a choice of the kind of education that they want. That said, I am the captain of my ship. That said, I'm going to control my destiny. And whatever it takes, I'm willing to do the work. There was something in you that said, I've got to make this happen. There's something in you that said, there's a bigger life waiting for me, calling my name. There's something in you that says, I'm on my way to a greater life.
I want you to remember 3 things. Number 1, I want you to never be afraid to make a decision. Be decisive. Don't be afraid to fail. Be fearless. Number 2, I want you to remember the power of you. You gotta feel that power. You gotta believe in that power. You have that power, trust me. And last but not least, number 3, can't stop, won't stop.
The most important element is for you to be able to do this, to be able to establish, most importantly, where you really are in your life today. Where are you? And where do you really want to go? What's going to create this extraordinary life? And to look at it brand new. Because some of you right now, if you continue the direction you're going, are going to be successful and unfulfilled, unhappy, and stressed.
If I can change, then you can change. Everybody can change. That's the woman.
There are 2 reasons.
Talk radio.
I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM. Talk radio.
I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people. Whether it's happening in Port Harcourt, South South, Nigeria, or around the world, we've got you covered. On air, online, delivering balanced news and unbiased analysis. Today 95.1 FM.
This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News.
Hello and good morning. This is the World News on your premium talk radio Today 95.1 FM Port Harcourt. I am Annie Abdul Salam. In the headlines, Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike dissolves a board of Rivers State Cassava Processing Company. Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike warns unrecognized traditional rulers to stay away from government organized functions. National Broadcasting Commission warns all broadcasting stations in Nigeria to suspend patronage of Twitter immediately. And on the foreign scene, Spain opens its borders to vaccinate travelers from all over the world. And now, the details. River State Governor Nyesom Wike has approved the dissolution of the board of the River State Cassava Processing Company. According to a statement signed by the Secretary to the State Government, Tammy Danagogo, the dissolution takes immediate effect. The dissolution comes days after the River State Government commissioned the Cassava Processing Company in Oyibo local government of the state. River State Governor Nyesom Wike has warned traditional rulers who are not recognized to stay away from government-organized functions. Speaking at the commissioning of the Mother and Child Hospital in Obiakpo local government area of the state, the governor also warned them against the public show of their disagreement. He said any traditional ruler who wishes to get government recognition should do the right thing.
You are clapping, but you came here to demonstrate one day. You know, you behave as if this is Shell, this is Ajib, this is F or Water Total. This is government providing for our mothers and our children to improve. If you don't do the right thing, I will not. And let me say this clearly, when a governor is coming to a place, only the government, the governor traditional ruler should receive the governor. Whatever chieftaincy you are drag it to your house. When I come here, stop that here dragging of chieftaincy stool. I'm not here for that. Let me just say it clearly to all of you now. As a governor, and I come here, recognized traditional rulers must be the ones to receive the governor, not those who are not recognized. Don't come and find that here. I will not accept it any longer. If you want to be recognized, you know what it takes, and we will do that, but not by all these struggling. You can't struggle for it. Do what is right. It's not by fight. So I've always told you people, this is great people every time when you see governor, you are wearing, I don't know what they call it, from here to here. This faction will go this way. This side will go this way. This will come out to show the wrestling people.
On his part, the Minister of Health, Dr. Sage Henare, who commissioned the hospital, promised that the federal government will support the state government in whatever way it can.
This dedication and interest to the health sector aligns very well with the vision of the President for universal health coverage, quality care to all citizens. The federal government appreciates the strong collaborative efforts of the government of Rivers State in taking it upon itself to create this edifice here. I want to assure you that the federal government, the Ministry of Health, will support both the primary and secondary health care to bring them up to state, because most of the burden of management of small diseases, malaria, diarrhea, backache, headache, toothache, immunization, family planning, they all take place at the primary healthcare level. I want to assure you that we shall direct the tertiary healthcare belonging to the federal government here to support the secondary healthcare at no cost to the state government, with specialists, with specialties in health, in pediatrics, ONG, surgery, and internal medicine.
River State Governor Nyesom Wike has attributed some of the current challenges facing the country to alleged appointment of heads of security agencies and other critical national institutions from a particular region of the country. Governor Wike made the claims at the National Conference of the Nigerian Union of Journalists in Port Harcourt, where he said the country is administered in a way that some people are treated like privileged people, while others are treated like slaves. The governor was represented by his deputy Palibo Hari Banigo, while urging the media to use the opportunity to arrive at a position that will save the country from the situation, assured that Governor Wike's led administration is committed to the peace and unity of the country.
Journalists have always been at the forefront when it comes to the development of our democracy. So today, the unity of our country being threatened as a result of self-destructive tendencies like raising disregard for the rule of law, the federal government seems to be fanning the embers of disunity through its perceived actions and inactions. A situation where some sections of the country are treated as a privileged group, while other sections are treated with disdain and impunity, leaves much to be desired. The Rivers State government, under the able leadership of our governor, His Excellency Chief Barrister Nyesom Wike, believes so much in the unity and sovereignty of Nigeria, and we are totally committed to ensure that the country remains one and remains progressive and continues to develop and to live in peace and security.
In his keynote speech, the governor of Abia State, Okezie Ikpeazu, insisted that for the country to be able to come out from the current challenges, the issues raised by NSAS protesters, the national narratives for civil war, must be discussed in a round table and resolved.
We must deploy multiple approach. We must be ready to engage. We must be ready to hold conversations. All the issues that bother us in this country, we must discuss the causes of the NSAS protests. We must discuss the causes of the massacre. We must have a national narrative for the civil war. We can see that it's a smoldering fire. So we must discuss the issues of exclusion. We must discuss the issues of social justice. That is the only way we can engender social mobilization. No society can handle security problems without adequate social mobilization. And you can't do social mobilization without social engineering, and that is the role of the media and government. We must be able to have the courage to sit down and talk about issues. So while that is going on the one hand, I also believe that those who have become or consider themselves as enemies of this country and enemies of my people, I speak for Abia State. If you become enemies of Abia State, then I will not allow that to happen.
Members of River State Branch of Digital Staff Union of Workers are gradually beginning to resume work at the State Judiciary Complex in Port Harcourt. Today FM's Uchendu Ejiowo, who was at the Judiciary Complex, reports that judiciary workers were seen in their offices arranging files in preparation for resumption of court sittings. This is coming a few days after a meeting between the new Chief Judge of River State, Justice Simeon Amadi, and the members of the Judicial Staff Union of Nigeria in River State, alongside the leadership of the Nigerian Bar Association. The governor, Nyesom Wike, had last week threatened that the judiciary workers will not receive June salaries for refusing to call off the strike. However, the state leadership of JUSUN is yet to issue a statement on the latest declaration by the governor or the skeletal resumption of its members. River State government has commenced the training of 720 Rivers youths in the information communication technology. The 720 beneficiaries were among the over 7,000 youths who applied for the training. Speaking during the orientation exercise for the beneficiaries, the Senior Special Assistant to Governor Nyesom Wike on ICT, Biforo Asao, encouraged them to be diligent, serious with the training. Today FM Sandra Kenneth reports that the beneficiaries will be trained on cybersecurity hardware and network, database, graphics, animation, programming, amongst others. Some persons under the aegis of Ekpe Oil and Gas have staged a protest in Ibudia Kingdom in Ahoda West Local Government Area of River State, demanding that the Ekpe people be accorded their benefits. King of Ibudia Kingdom in Ahoda West Local Government Area of River State, who confirmed the demonstration to Today FM Sandra Kenneth, said the protest disrupted activities in communities in his kingdom, including an ongoing construction work. His Majesty Joshua Eiba, however, stressed that the protest which he tried to address also stopped the construction of pipelines from Abua to Bara in Bayelsa that was passing through his kingdom, adding that the persons were agitating for an inclusiveness into the project. He, however, noted that a GMOU has been signed between Shell and the communities in his area, adding that there was no need for the protest.
Some people call themselves oil and gas, and that they are fighting for a community benefit. If you are fighting for community benefit, I, as the majesty of the area, which community are you fighting for? They are fighting Mopo Oil Company that is constructing a new gas line, and if they need any amenities from the Mopo, they should go there. Mopo had given the community what the community requested before they entered. Agreement with Mopo and us had been entered. Shell had put us into a GMOU that's 2 weeks ago. If there's any other body in Ibudia that want to fight for this thing, it couldn't have been by violence. And I want to stop them. They say they will not obey me as the majesty. I'll call the director of Mopo.
One person has been confirmed dead after a building which was demolished around the Ikoku area of Port Harcourt collapsed. Today, FM gathered that the victim was a scavenger who was picking some items from the demolished building. A pillar was said to have fallen on the victim during the demolition, which led to his death. The global agenda for energy transition has slightly taken the back seat. This is according to President Muhammadu Buhari, who was speaking during the 4th Nigeria International Petroleum Summit held in Abuja. The president was represented at the event by the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Timi Pre Silva, said the issue is one of the challenges facing the oil and gas industry in the world. The president also noted that governments around the world are now more focused on the fight against COVID-19 than on the quest for energy transmission.
The immediate challenge is that the global agenda for energy transition has slightly taken the backseat. Governments across the world are now more focused on managing the COVID-19 pandemic and its impact on economies than the quest for energy transition. However, energy transition is real. Renewable technologies are getting cheaper, and investors are increasingly conscious of environmental issues and are beginning to turn their back on hydrocarbon investments. But history has shown that human beings have insatiable appetite for energy, which renewables does not have the capacity to cope with in the foreseeable future.
The president also noted that the discovery of new oil fields in Nigeria remains a priority, following the projection that 80% of the world's energy will still be from hydrocarbon by 2040.
Experts project that about 80% of the world's energy mix in 2040 will still come from hydrocarbons. Fossil fuels will continue to be the source of dozens of petrochemicals feedstock that companies transform into versatile and valued materials for modern life. Given that about 80% of the global energy mix by 2040 will still be hydrocarbon, we cannot turn our back yet on more exploration. Discovery of new fields is crucial, and we also need to address short-term opportunities using existing technology that can extend the life of mature fields. Nobody should doubt our commitment in this regard, given our bold move to issue new marginal field licenses recently.
The federal government has held a closed-door meeting with some of the top envoys of various diplomatic missions in Nigeria. Envoys present at the meeting being held in Abuja include those of Canada, the United States, the European Union, the United Kingdom, and the Republic of Ireland. The meeting follows the recent Twitter ban and the envoys' reactions to the indefinite suspension of the microblogging platform. The diplomatic mission said they were let down by the decision to suspend Twitter operations in Nigeria. Meanwhile, the federal government, the National Broadcasting Commission, has directed all broadcasting stations in Nigeria to suspend the patronage of Twitter immediately. The commission asked all broadcast stations to deinstall their Twitter handles and desist from using it as a source of information gathering for news and programs presentation, especially phone-ins. The acting director general of the commission, Armstrong Idachaba, in a statement on Monday, said the directive is in line with Section 2, Subsection 1 of the NBC Act, which, according to him, entrusts the commission with responsibility to ensure strict adherence to national laws, rules, and regulations. Idachaba said it will be unpatriotic for any broadcaster in Nigeria to continue to patronize the suspended Twitter as a source of its information, and called for strict compliance. You're listening to the World News on Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. After the break, we'll be back with more news, foreign and sports stories. Please stay with us.
Every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
Welcome back. You're still listening to the World News here on Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. It's 15 minutes after 7. The Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, has announced the immediate suspension of tinted vehicle windscreens in Nigeria. The IGP announced this on Monday during a meeting with senior police officers, including commissioners and DIGs, from the states. He also directed that the issuance of spy number plates be put on hold. According to the IGP, the directives are parts of efforts being put in place to curtail the worsening security challenges across the country. While making the announcement, he reiterated that roadblocks remain prohibited in the country and warned that heads of commands must enforce it and key into the road patrol strategy as an alternative to roadblocks. And now we move on to the foreign scene. Spain has opened its borders to vaccinate travelers from all over the world on Monday. This is with the hope that with the influx of visitors, it will revitalize an all-important tourism sector that has been battered by the coronavirus pandemic. The opening kicks off with what many are hoping will be a busy summer tourism season in Europe as vaccine rates pick up across the continent. On Monday morning, with the mercury already high, tourists from Germany, Ireland, and Belgium could be seen passing through the arrival gates at Malaga Airport. At least 20 international flights landed in the morning at the most important tourist gateway in the southern Andalusia region. In sports, Nigeria and Cameroon will once more battle it out at the Stadium Wiener Neustadt in the second of a two-match friendly program in Vienna, the Austria capital. Five-time African champions Cameroon edged the first encounter 1-0 at the same venue on Friday, courtesy of a 36-minute strike by Andre Ngusia. The Super Eagles created chance after chance, but failed to get the ball into the net. After a 1-hour training session in the light drizzle on Sunday morning, the Super Eagles will have their last training session at the match venue on Monday evening. Captain Ahmed Musa said defeat in Tuesday's game is not an option. And now to end the news, here's a summary of the major stories. River State Governor Nyesom Wike has dissolved the board of the River State Cassava Processing Company. We told you that River State Governor Nyesom Wike has warned unrecognized traditional rulers to stay away from government-organized functions in the state. You also heard that the National Broadcasting Commission has warned all broadcasting stations in Nigeria to suspend the patronage of Twitter immediately. And on the foreign scene, we told you that Spain has opened its borders to vaccinate travelers from all over the world. And that was the news that's edited by Ifunanya Obeme Undukwe. For comments and inquiries, please call 0818-389-2850. Send your emails to news@todayfmlive.com. You can also read our stories on www.todayfmlive.com. Do not forget, you must take responsibility. Please do so by washing your hands frequently with soap under running water. Avoid touching your face in high contact surfaces to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. I am Annie Abdul Salam. To have a great morning. Thank you for listening.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
This is Today 95.1 FM. To copy this tune, press 9.
This is Today 95.1 FM.
For current news and information, press 5.
They are politicians, all of them. They know what they do.
So they know how they attack each other.
To stay connected all day, press 1.
The person who raised the alarm is the one who made the public know about it.
Good afternoon and welcome to the World News on your Premium Talk Radio station.
We are your Premium Talk Radio station. Today 95.1 FM, the station with a unique dial.
Do you have the right to quality broadcasting? The National Broadcasting Commission says any person, group of persons, or organization aggrieved by the content of a broadcast or the conduct of a broadcast station may lodge a complaint to the station and all right to the Director General, National Broadcasting Commission, number 20, Ibrahim Taiwo Street, Asokoro, Abuja, or send a mail via info@nbc.gov.ng. Please ensure that your complaint includes name of the broadcast station, title of the program, date and time of broadcast, and essence of the complaint. Also remember to include your name, address, telephone number, email, and append your signature. Note that your complaint must reach the NBC within 14 days of the queried broadcast. NBC, your right to quality broadcasting.
Please listen to this announcement.
the head of the Black Duke Owerri Daba Volcano House of Abonima, Alabo Anthony Gibson Owerri Daba, condoles with the family of late Sir Baranwa Moses Wefa, OFR, SAN, DSSRS, KJW, JP, and the General Wefa family, House of Kono, on the demise of their son, brother, and father, a distinguished legal colossus, an exemplary statesman. Indeed, he was a gift to the Ogoni Kingdom, to our dear River State, and the nation Nigeria. On behalf of myself, family, and the Black Duke Owerri Daba Volcano House of Abonima, we pray that God Almighty will give us the fortitude to bear the loss. This is signed by Alabo Anthony Gibson Owerri Daba, JP.
Checkzone Solar World is providing solar power and inverters to homes, schools, offices, hospitals, churches, banks, etc. Our mission is to provide solar electricity 24/7 to all Nigerians. We have varieties of products and services designed to enable our customers enjoy the solar electricity in a friendly cost. Visit us at number 46 Aba Road by Artillery Junction or call 0906 345 5328 0906 345 5328 or 08144 948 252.
Welcome to the Peak Breakfast Show.
Good morning and welcome to the Peak Breakfast Show. It is a show where we talk about the amazing success stories of some of the world's biggest and your favorite sports stars. We do this to inspire you to be better and driven on your way to the peak of your career, because as Peak Milk always say, it's in you. It comes your way on this dial and at this time, and it's proudly brought to you by Peak Milk. On this show, we talk about some of the great sports achievers who have left a lasting impact on their respective sports and life in general, and how they overcame adversity to achieve fame and fortune, and what lessons we all can learn on the journey to greatness. Also, we have a recipe segment to help you to a healthy lifestyle to boost your productivity. Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, it will be time to hit the road on the Peak Show, brought to you by Peak Milk. Stay tuned and stay relaxed, because we're about to nourish you big time.
Peak protein breakfast. That's the secret to how mom wakes up early, makes breakfast for us, and runs off to work. How daddy works most nights and still gets up early to drop me at school. No matter how busy they are, they're never too tired to play with me. And that's because they never leave home without a Peak protein breakfast.
Start every day with a Peak breakfast, enriched with protein to keep you going.
Peak. Reach for your peak. You're still listening to the Peak Breakfast. Welcome back to the Peak Breakfast Show. It is time to look at our story of greatness. Ask any NBA fan or any person for that matter who the greatest basketball player of all time is, and one name will come to mind: Michael Jordan. He is recognized by the association, by the fans, and even by his colleagues as arguably the greatest player in basketball history. In fact, he's arguably one of the greatest athletes of all time. Jordan was born at Cumberland Hospital in the Fort Greene neighborhood of New York City's Brooklyn borough on February 17, 1963. The son of bank employee Delores and equipment supervisor James R. Jordan Sr. In 1968, he moved with his family to Wilmington, North Carolina. Jordan attended Emsley A. Larney High School in Wilmington, where he highlighted his athletic career by playing basketball, baseball, and football. It is worth noting that NJ, as he was popularly called, overcame adversity on his journey to becoming a global icon. Watching Michael Jordan and the documentary out there on the Bulls in the Last Dance, it is amazing to see that Michael Jordan didn't start off as this revelation as a young kid. No, he had to go through a lot of trials and obstacles and tribulations, and he went through so many. His brother Larry was hard on him and very physically abusive to him. His dad was tough on him and didn't show much love. As a young kid, his first love and best sport was baseball, but soon found out that he could also play basketball quite well. Michael and his older brother Larry played together in their backyard court, and their daily backyard games helped develop Michael's basketball skills, competitiveness, and determination to win as he consistently lost to Larry. Let's take a break with a cup of creamy peak milk, and when we come back, Jordan's journey to greatness continues.
Peak protein breakfast. That's the secret to how mom wakes up early, makes breakfast for us, and runs off to work. How daddy works most nights and still gets up early to drop me at school. No matter how busy they are, they're never too tired to play with me. And that's because they never leave home without a peak protein breakfast.
Start every day with a peak breakfast enriched with protein to keep you going.
Peak. Reach for your peak. Hey people, I trust your day is going great now, but what really gets you off to a great day? There is only one answer to that, and that is a peak protein breakfast. Why? Let me break it down. A peak protein breakfast keeps you nourished and helps you stay active throughout the day. And that's because peak milk contains protein, and it is also filled with essential vitamins and minerals that nourishes your body and helps you reach your peak daily. The cool part is that peak milk caters to everyone. So if you're health conscious, there is peak-filled cream milk for you. And for those who love an extra creamy breakfast, there is a full cream milk for you as well. Now, that's a daily secret support. So start your day with a peak protein breakfast today to keep you going on and on.
The story of greatness continues on the Peak Breakfast.
Welcome back to the Peak Breakfast Show, brought to you by Peak Milk. Michael tried out for his high school varsity basketball team during his sophomore year, but he didn't make the cut. The day he got rejected, Michael went inside his room and cried. What seemed to be a terrible outcome became a defining moment for him. From that day on, Michael was determined to become better than everyone else. Michael later told the journalist that his adversity helped him move forward. He said, "I knew I didn't want to have that feeling ever again." Each morning throughout the summer, he worked on basketball drills and lifted weights. By the time Michael finished the intense workouts, Michael was considered among the nation's best high school basketball players. He later accepted a full basketball scholarship offer to play for the University of North Carolina under the legendary coach Dan Smith. Sometimes you got to realize all those obstacles and things in front of you are opportunities that you can learn from and use to grow. The Chicago Bulls selected Jordan with the third overall pick of the 1984 NBA draft after Hakeem Olajuwon, Houston Rockets, and Sam Bowie, Portland Trail Blazers. During this rookie season with the Bulls, Jordan averaged 28.2 PPG on 51.5% shooting and helped make a team that won 35% of the games in previous 3 seasons playoff contenders. He quickly became a fan favorite even in opposing arenas. Jordan won his first NBA championship with the Bulls in 1991 and followed that achievement with titles in 1992 and 1993, securing a 3-peat. Jordan abruptly retired from basketball before the 1993 to 1994 NBA season to play minor league baseball, but returned to the Bulls in March 1995 and led them to 3 more championships in 1996, 1997, and 1998, as well as a then record 72 regular season wins in the 1995-96 NBA season. He retired for the second time in January 1999, but returned for 2 more NBA seasons from 2001 to 2003 as a member of the Washington Wizards. Jordan's individual accolades and accomplishments include 6 NBA Finals, Most Valuable Player MVP awards, 10 scoring titles, both all-time records, 5 MVP awards, 5 MVP awards, 10 All-NBA First-Team designations, 9 All-Defensive First-Team honors, 14 NBA All-Star Game selections, 3 All-Star Game MVP awards, 3 Steal titles, and the 1988 NBA Defensive Player of the Year award. He holds the NBA records for career regular seasons scoring average 30.12 points per game and career playoff scoring average 33.45 points per game. In 1999, he was named the 20th century's greatest North American athlete by ESPN and was second to Babe Ruth on the Associated Press list of athletes of the century. Jordan was twice inducted into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame, once in 2009 for his individual career and again in 2010 as part of the 1992 United States men's Olympic basketball team, the Dream Team. He became a member of the FIBA Hall of Fame in 2015. To understand why he risked everything, let's take a peek into the mindset of Michael Jordan, the competitor. I can accept failure. Everyone fails at something, but I can't accept not trying. I've always believed that if you put in the work, the results will come. Let's go on another break, refill the cup of peak milk, and wrap up the show with the peak recipe segment. The Peak Breakfast will be right back.
Peak protein breakfast. That's the secret to how mom wakes up early, makes breakfast for us, and runs off to work. How daddy works most nights and still gets up early to drop me at school. No matter how busy they are, they're never too tired to play with me. And that's because they never leave home without a peak protein breakfast.
Start every day with a peak breakfast enriched with protein to keep you going.
Peak. Reach for your peak.
Welcome to the Peak Nutrition on the Peak Breakfast. Welcome back to the Peak Breakfast Show, brought to you by Peak Milk. Peak recipe of the day, basic scrambled eggs recipe. Remember, the best way to start your day is with a glass of peak milk. Today, we have a simple but tasty recipe for you to try alongside a cup of peak milk. Our easy recipe will help you make scrambled eggs in less than 10 minutes. Ingredients: 4 large eggs, peak milk, a quarter cup, a pinch of salt, a pinch of pepper, 2 teaspoons butter. Here are the directions. Beat the eggs, milk, salt and pepper in medium bowl until blended. Heat butter in large non-stick skillet over medium heat until hot. Pour in egg mixture as eggs begin to set. Gently pour the eggs across the pan with a spatula, forming large soft curds. Continue cooking, pulling, lifting and folding eggs until thickened and no visible liquid egg remains. Do not stir constantly. Remove from heat. Serve immediately with a glass of peak milk. The Peak Breakfast will be right back. Before we close home, let's sneak in some quick breakfast facts for you. When you think of the word breakfast, eggs may be one of the first things that come to mind. Based on a study in 2017, China ranked the highest in egg consumption out of 154 other countries. On average, a Chinese resident would eat 22.9 kg worth of eggs per year. With trademark dishes such as congee and century egg, it's no wonder that China is big on eggs. Bread is one of the most universal ingredients of breakfast around the world. According to the Guinness World Records, Turkey has the biggest consumption of bread worldwide, with each person consuming 199.6 kg of bread in a year. Since the traditional Turkish breakfast commonly features hearty dishes with bread, this comes as no surprise. And of course, the continental breakfast dates back to 19th century Britain. Around this time, the British referred to the countries of mainland Europe as the continent. As such, they adopted this term to describe the regional breakfast in the area. In contrast to the heavy, rich breakfast of other countries, the typical continental breakfast only includes a light serving of fruits, bread, and pastries, of course. Tea is always a standard, often used to wash down their meals. I hope you enjoy that. Now let's wrap up. The Peak Breakfast will be right back. That's where the curtain falls on today's edition of the Peak Breakfast Show. It has been a pleasure bringing the show your way, and please tell someone to tune in next week at the same time and on this same dial as we bring you another exciting edition of the Peak Breakfast Show. Remember, you can always stay in touch with Peak Milk on social media by following on Twitter at Peak Milk and liking the Peak Milk Facebook page located at www.facebook.com/Peak Milk. Until next week, when we deliver another edition of the Peak Breakfast Show. Stay healthy and keep taking the nutritious and delicious Peak Milk.
That was the Peak Breakfast Show.
Let's talk football.
Let's talk football.
What a devastating strike!
Football is a leisure game.
Sports is actually my job.
Football is boring.
That's not true. It's way more important than that.
What a wonderful goal! Fantastic strike!
As far as I'm concerned, sports is all about passion.
Sports Attack, weekdays 7:30 a.m. and today's Sports Live 3 p.m. weekends 1 p.m. to 6 p.m.
For all you need to know in the world of sports, leave the dial on Today 95.1 FM.
Nigerian skeleton athlete to compete in the Winter Olympics. To keep tabs on trending sports stories across the globe, keep listening to Sports Attack on your premium talk, news, and sports radio station. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. You will be glad you did. My name is Simidele Adiagbo, the first ever Nigerian skeleton athlete to compete in the Winter Olympics. To keep tabs on trending sports stories across the globe, keep listening to Sports Attack on your premium talk, news, and sports radio station. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. You will be glad you did.
A beautiful morning to you all. Welcome to another exciting edition of Sports Attack on your premium talk, news and sports radio station. Today 95.1 FM right here in the Garden City of Port Harcourt. My name is Wisdom Obina and I'll be your pilot and tour guide into the world of sports this morning. Fasten your seat belts as I take you through another all-informative cruise through the ever-exciting world of sports. All right, the Olympics remains our first spot of call, where Olympics gold medalist Chioma Ajunwa has advanced Nigerian athletes to the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games not to allow the crisis rocking the Athletics Federation of Nigeria distract them. Ajunwa, whose 25-year African long jump record was recently broken by Sebrume, said the athletes should focus on achieving greatness at the Olympics. According to her, in fighting, the federation stopped Blessing Okagbari from winning a medal at the 2012 Olympics in Brazil. Quoting her, she said, I had thought Blessing Okagbari would break my record at the last Olympics, but the in-house fighting never allowed the athletes to concentrate. And that's why it's very important that the Athletics Federation of Nigeria officials work together to help the athletes put in their best. The athletes are preparing on their own, so it doesn't really matter. I think by now they should have been used to it, but all I'm praying is that the people involved should think about the athletes, Ajunwa told The Punch. And moving on to athletics still. Former athletes have backed Blessing Okagbari to win a medal at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. Okagbari made history at the PTS Athletics meet in Bratislava, Slovakia on Wednesday when she finished in 10.98 seconds to coast home to victory and erased the meet's previous record of 11.09 seconds set by Czech Republic's Jamila Kratovilova in June 1983. She has posted a sub 11 second 3 times this season, and that makes her look good for a medal at the Olympics. Okagbari is a sure bet if she keeps it up. 2-time African 100 meters champion Seun Ogunkoya also backed Okagbari for a medal in Tokyo. Quoting him, said, at the moment, Okagbari remains the best in the circuit. She's the best, but I pray she keeps that shape until the Olympics. If she does, she's a medal hopeful. Isebrume, Amusan, Enekwechi, Ekevo, Ofili, Osoro are also medal hopefuls. To Formula One, where an angry Toto Wolff has vowed that Mercedes will bounce back from a painful Azerbaijan Grand Prix, with the team boss explaining the world champion's weaknesses while also defending Lewis Hamilton after his dramatic lockup. Mercedes finished with both cars out of the points for the first time in 55 races on Sunday, as Hamilton dropped from 2nd to 15th after the late race restart, and Valtteri Bottas struggled all weekend in the other car. Losing ground to leaders Red Bull in the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes' 7-point haul from the Monaco and Baku Grand Prix is their lowest two-race total since before Hamilton joined in 2012. Quoting Wolf, he said, in Monaco and here, we didn't have a car that was competitive. Full stop. We lose all the time in the twisty old town, and this is what happened in Monaco too. Well, let's see if we can get some excerpts of the thoughts of Toto Wolff.
It was such a painful experience this weekend. We weren't just good enough, and if we want to win this championship, we need to bring our A game. We need to give the drivers a car that is competitive, and I guess we were only in a position to win the race because Max shut it out. So it is what it is. It's going to hurt for a few days, but we bring our top game to the next race. And on a positive note, the podium was refreshing again. Congratulations to Sergio. He deserves that, and also to Seb.
All right, apologies for the way it sounded. It was from an Instagram post. All right, that's put up right there by Toto Wolff, really. Moving on to tennis now. Naomi Osaka has pulled out of next week's Berlin WTA grass court tournament in the wake of her controversial exit from the French Open, organizers confirmed on Monday. Quoting them, they said, we have received notification that Naomi Osaka cannot start in Berlin. After consulting her management, she will take a break, said a spokesman for the Berlin tournament, which starts June 14th. Osaka has not said when she plans to play next, casting doubt on her participation at Wimbledon, which starts on June 28th, and the Tokyo Olympics. The 23-year-old four-time Grand Slam winner has been in the spotlight since withdrawing from Roland Garros after a dispute over her refusal to attend press conferences and to the French Open. Defending champion Iga Swiatek overcame a strong challenge from Marta Kostyuk to reach the French Open quarterfinals. Swiatek is the only top 10 player in the last 8 of the women's draw at Roland Garros after beating the 18-year-old Kostyuk 6-3, 6-4 yesterday. Playing her first night match on court Philippe Chatrier, Swiatek came from a breakdown in a thrilling first set and went on to book a meeting with Mariah Sakkari, conqueror of last year's runner-up Sofia Kenin. 8th seed Swiatek has won 22 consecutive sets at the Paris Grand Slam and is a strong favorite to win back-to-back titles. Swiatek, who won a marathon doubles match in combination with Bethany Matek Sands on Monday, was 2-1 down in the opening set as world number 81. Kostyuk was rewarded for her positive approach. Now, the 20-year-old Pole responded like a champion, though, breaking back immediately and again after fending off 2 break points to take a 4-3 lead. All right, all the best. Meanwhile, elsewhere still in the WTA side of things, Coco Gauff acknowledges she's playing her best ever tennis at a Grand Slam tournament, but is not yet thinking about winning the French Open. The 17-year-old yesterday reached her first major quarterfinal by brilliantly beating Ons Jabeur, the Tunisian, 6-3, 6-1 in the 4th round on Monday. Gauff said afterwards she was definitely still learning how to play on clay, but her progress on the biggest stage is evident to herself and others.
It means a lot to me, especially I've lost in the 4th round a couple times, so it feels good to get over that hurdle. And today I played probably my best match so far in the tournament.
The American sensation is now just 3 wins away from a remarkable first Grand Slam triumph. But she's not getting ahead of herself, is she? She faces Barbora Krejcikova in the next round.
She's obviously been having a great clay season, and she's a tough opponent. I think that she's a really smart player, and she's been on tour for some time, and she, is one of those players, I guess, an all-court player. She can play all parts of the court. She does well in singles and doubles and mixed doubles. So I'm just going to go out there and just, focus on playing my game and not so much about her. And yeah, she might be like the quote-unquote veteran, I guess, in this matchup, but I think I'm just not going to focus too much on the decisions she makes and more about what I do on the court.
Rafael Nadal continued on his serene path to a 14th French Open title by seeing off Yannick Sinner in straight sets, having seen Italian compatriot Lorenzo Musetti take Novak Djokovic to 5 sets earlier. On court Philippe Chatrier. Sinner made a strong start against the King of Clay. However, whereas Musetti took 2 sets from world number 1, talking about Djokovic, it wasn't the same story for Sinner. The 19-year-old's spirited efforts were undermined by 40 unforced errors, offering Nadal far too many opportunities to press home the golf in class and experience in a 7-5, 6-3, 6-love win. Meanwhile, earlier, Novak Djokovic came from 2 sets down against Lorenzo Musetti yesterday to reach the quarterfinals of the French Open for a record 12th consecutive year after his opponent retired in the 5th set. The world number 1 went into the contest with 19-year-old, having not dropped a set at this championship, but found himself in big trouble after a grueling first couple of hours. It felt like a different match entirely, I tell you, after that, as Djokovic won 16 of the final 17 games before Musetti retired with his scores at 6-7, 6-7, 6-1, 6-love, 4-love in the 2016 champions' favour. It was disappointing for the Italian Musetti, who would have liked to finish the job. He, however, was pleased with his performance.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was a fantastic experience. I was playing, I think, my best tennis for sure. I've never played like today, and the first 2 sets were really long, like 2 hours and I don't know, more than 2 hours. Of course, I'm a little bit disappointed, but I played, I think, against number 1 in the world, and I took him like the first 2 sets. Then. I mean, he started to play really good.
The Serbian maestro, talking about Djokovic, knows what it means to struggle with injuries. Haven't had that early on in his career, and he has some fine words from Musetti.
At the beginning, for young guys, it still takes some time to. You have to experience in order to learn how to deal with it the next time. So, the experience is the best teacher, and Musetti has definitely all the qualities in his tennis, in his game on clay particularly, but also other surfaces, to be a top player. I wish him all the best. He's a nice guy. We know each other well now. We trained quite a bit, and now we played for the first time. So yeah, I really wish him all the best. I think if he keeps going in this way, he's definitely on the right path to become a top player one day.
He was close, but in sports, nearly is never enough. His next opponent, as talking about Djokovic, is the informed Big 7 Matteo Berrettini, who started very strong this year, beating the likes of Dominic Thiem in Australia, by the way, and reaching the ATP finals with Italy. While for Rafael Nadal, it would be Diego Schwartzman. For some games to expect today, we have Alexander Zverev matches to expect today against Alejandro Davidovich Fokina. Stefanos Tsitsipas will take on Daniil Medvedev. Interesting one, really. While in the women's singles, Tamara Zidanshek will be up against Paula Badosa. Elena Rybakina will take on Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova, making up the matches to expect today. Moving on to boxing. Boxing fans claim Floyd Mayweather prevented Logan Paul from hitting the canvas during their 8-round exhibition fight in Miami on Sunday evening. Mayweather and Paul went the distance at the Hard Rock Stadium, despite many predicting that the YouTube star would struggle to keep up with one of boxing's greatest of all time. But viewers have sparked a debate on social media after a clip of Mayweather appearing to hold up Paul went viral. In the final stages of the 6th round, Mayweather ducked an overhand right hand from Paul and countered with a stinging right of his own. Paul's legs immediately bucked, and the YouTube star stumbled towards Mayweather, who kept his left hand around his opponent's shoulder to stop him from hitting the deck. Well, as per exhibition rules, a winner was not declared, but some fans are in no doubt that Mayweather played a huge role in keeping Paul in the content for the full 8 rounds. A quick look at the results we had from the NBA. Brooklyn Nets 125, Milwaukee Bucks 86. No James Harden, no problem for the Nets. Phoenix Suns did beat Denver Nuggets 122 to 105. Meanwhile, the New York Knicks head coach Tom Thibodeau has been named the 2020-2021 NBA Coach of the Year. It was announced yesterday, even as Luka Doncic appeared to confirm he would be signing a Supermax contract extension with the Dallas Mavericks following their NBA playoff exit. That's all in other sports. Football starts here right now.
For the best and most incisive sporting reports, tune in to Sports Attack on Today 95.1 FM every week morning at 7:30 a.m. My name is Daniel Igale, President of the Nigeria Wrestling Federation. I also listen to the...
All right, very quick right there. And we start with the ITO Cup. In view of the June 30 deadline for submission of club names to take part in the various CAF competitions for 2021, the Nigerian Football Federation has directed all football associations to produce one representative on or before 14th June 2021, with each state also producing their ITO Cup licenses. At the federation level, a uniform license will be produced by the Nigerian Football Federation for the national stage of the ITO Cup competition. A national draw will be held at a date to be communicated for the 37 teams that qualify. This was contained in a letter sent to the different state FAs by NFF's General Secretary Wilfred Onaji. I'm sure you'll be asking what happens to the NPFL. Well, I'm asking the same question. All right, Nigeria and Cameroon will once more battle it out at the Stadium Vienna Neustadt in the second of a two-match friendly program in the Austrian capital, Vienna. Five-time African champions Cameroon edged the first encounter 1-0 at the same venue on Friday, courtesy of a 36-minute strike by Andre Zambo Anguissa. The Super Eagles created chance after chance, but failed to get the ball into the net. Coach Gernot Ross spoke at length about having to use a rash of new players in the first session, but he's compelled to do even more of that in Tuesday's encounter following injuries to defenders William Ekeng and Jamilu Collins and the knock for pacey winger Moses Simon. Simon appeared to be getting better as of Monday morning, but the smart money is on him starting from the bench, just as Cyprus-based goalkeeper Francis Omi starting goal against the indomitable Lions, with the versatile Abdullahi Shehu heaved back to the rear from midfield, for which he was initially penciled down. And the couple of injuries from Friday's match, Raw has had to extend invitation to Hungary-based Vincent Onovo to fight for his first cap. Onovo arrived in the team hotel just after dinner on Sunday. The man plays for Újpest right there in Hungary. They finished sixth in their league last season. Now, a three-man defense line is in the offing, with perhaps Chirezi Awaziem, who impressed in that unit on Friday, Abdullahi Shehu and also Wafo. Another late invitee, Anthony Zuchuku from Slovakia, is another possibility, and the loaded midfield could include Onovo with Wilfred Ndidi, Ogenekaro Etebo, Samson Tijani, and Abraham Marcus also on the roll. Coach Gernot Rohr has been speaking ahead of the game and says the observations have been positive.
The observations are positive because now some of the players who arrived from Nigeria, especially who were not so fit for the first game, they recovered well, and we could have some interesting training sessions. So I think we will be better physically. There will be some changings in the team, of course. The goalkeeper will change also for this match. Francis will start the game. Then also Musa will start it now. He's fit. And we lost Ekong, so Valentine will come in for the first time. And yes, these matches are made to test some players who could not play so much, and also to have perhaps a new organization. We will try something different.
Well, my question is, if all the other players were fit, would we be saying that these matches were meant to test players? Now, the German also added that they will be hoping to beat the indomitable Lions, while also adding that the aim of every friendly is not to win.
Yes, these matches are made to test some players who could not play so much, and also to have perhaps a new organization. We will try something different, and but we want to win it also. We never won in Austria. This country for us is 4 games now, and but the most important is not the result. The most important is to progress, to learn, to work.
We're still talking about the Super Eagles. Former Super Eagles player Ayodele Makinwa says the Nigerian team is not bereft of quality players, but says it boils down to the coach's selection ahead of every tournament and games. Gernot Rohr came out last week to state that Nigeria cannot get to the semi-final of the World Cup because we don't have the quality of players to achieve that feat. However, the former Palermo, Chievo, Lazio of Italy striker Makinwa says the national team setup is not lacking quality players, but quality selection.
We as a country, I would like to, we are talented. I mean, we have so many talents, we have so many talents, and I think the headache of the coach is always to be able to put out the best at every point in time. So I think we have some good players. It is just a matter of the coach deciding on how he wants to play the players, or if he knows what he wants, he can always, play them together however he wants, because the good thing about our national team is that we have so many players that can play in different formations. So selection, I think, is the main problem that the coach can have.
Makinwa also waded into the debate on the Super Eagles' best combination of attackers up front. Iheana Cho, Victor Osimhen, Simi Nwankwo, Terem Murphy and Paul Onuachu were all in form, fine form really, during the just concluded European season, with some Nigerians urging the coach to reward Onuachu and Simi by playing the duo ahead of Osimhen or Iheana Cho. Makinwa has a slightly different opinion.
I will first want to have them all in the camp first. So when I have them in the camp, I as a coach, I will have to look at my next opponent. So now, looking at my next opponent, that will determine how I will play. So now, I believe that some of those players, they are not compatible. They can't play together. So I think a player like Simi and Paul shouldn't play together. I believe that Osimhen can play with anybody in the attack. Kelechi can play with anybody. So I prefer, right now, I would prefer the starting list to include Kelechi and Osimhen because of the level of confidence they already have in the national team.
Paul Onuachu has won the Ebony Shoe Award, becoming the first Nigerian to win the prize since Celestine Babayaro won it in 1996. He beats gang teammate Theo Bongonda, Club Brugge's Clinton Mata, and the Let's duo of Lucas Mecha and Albert Sambi to the award. The Ebony Shoe Award is an award given to African players or players of African origin playing in Belgium's Jupiler League. Onuachu is now the fourth Nigerian to win the award after Babayaro, Okpara and Amokachi, who won the inaugural award in 1992. The Nigerian international succeed DR Congo's Diomechi Mbokani, who won the award last year. Meanwhile, still with Belgium, Kevin De Bruyne joined up with the Belgium squad on Monday, but remains in major doubt for their Euro 2020 opener against Russia after undergoing minor surgery on a facial injury, his coach Roberto Martinez said. Ben White has replaced the injured Trent Alexander-Arnold in England's 26-man squad for Euro 2020. Liverpool right-back Alexander-Arnold was ruled out of this summer's tournament after he was forced off in the closing stages of last week's 1-0 friendly win over Austria with a thigh injury. Brighton's defender White, who was among those named in the provisional 33-man squad, has now been selected by Gareth Southgate ahead of England's opener against Croatia at Wembley on Sunday. Ukraine have revealed a new shirt for Euro 2020 that features a map of the country, including the Crimea, sparking anger in Russia. The kit, styled in the national team's traditional yellow and blue, features a white outline surrounding the badge that depicts the country's borders. The Crimean Peninsula, which is included in the design, was annexed by Russia in 2014, but is still internationally recognized as part of Ukraine. The United States beat Mexico 3-2 to win the inaugural CONCACAF Nations League on Sunday with a wild extra-time finish featuring a penalty from Christian Pulisic and a penalty save from substitute keeper Ethan Hulvert, in case you missed that one. To club football now, where Tottenham are expected to confirm Fabio Paratici as their new sporting director later this week. Paratici, who's 48 years of age, left his role at Juventus as their long-serving chief football officer after 11 years last week. While he refused to say what his next challenge might be, it is understood it will be at Spurs despite the collapse of talks over Antonio Conte becoming the club's new manager. Paratici was given a warm send-off by chairman Andrea Agnelli on Friday. Aston Villa have reached an agreement to sign Emiliano Buendia from Norwich City. Reports over the weekend suggested Villa had a £33 million offer, which could reach a total value of £40 million accepted by promoted side Norwich. Arsenal had also pursued Buendia, but it is Villa who have confirmed they are poised to sign the Championship Player of the Year in a deal that is a club record signing for them and the highest ever sale for Norwich. Ange Postecoglou has verbally agreed personal terms with Celtic to become their new manager. The Parquet Club are hoping to have the Australian in place in time for their pre-season training camp in Wales, which begins on July 5th. In the meantime, former Australia and Chelsea goalkeeper Matt Bosnich says appointing Ange Postecoglou as Celtic manager would be a big risk.
He did have a fantastic time here at a club called Brisbane Roar, where he pretty much revolutionised the way football was played over here. And he's won the title in his first foray, you could say, into Asia with Yokohama F. Marinos. Now, I can understand the angst from Celtic supporters because winning the title here in Australia and winning the title in Japan is not managing in the Scottish Premier League, and nor is it managing a club the size of Celtic, whose worldwide support is right up there, and they're an absolutely massive club.
Liverpool midfielder Georginio Wijnaldum is close to joining Paris Saint-Germain on a free transfer. Wijnaldum opted not to sign an extension to his contract with Liverpool at the end of the season. It was anticipated the 30-year-old was going to join Barcelona when his Reds deal expires at the end of June. However, PSG, who finished second in Ligue 1 last season, are understood to have stepped in with a better offer, and Wijnaldum has opted to join them. The presence of Mauricio Pochettino at PSG is also thought to have been a factor. That's where we draw the curtains on today's edition of Sports Attack. Thank you so much for your time. The Sports Crew will be back at exactly 3 p.m. for another exciting edition of today's Sports Live. Until then, stay safe and of course keep it locked on this dial, Today FM 95.1.